Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about otitis media. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture, or you can directly visit to my channel, my student support system. What is otitis media? Otitis media is defined as an infection of middle ear. Where is the middle ear? This is tympanic membrane, and after tympanic membrane there is middle ear, and infection of middle ear is known as otitis media. Mainly otitis media is of two types: acute otitis media and chronic otitis media. We will discuss them one by one. First is acute otitis media. Acute otitis media is defined as an acute infection of the middle ear, usually lasting less than 6 weeks. Acute otitis media or AOM is a painful type of ear infection. The candidate who is suffering from otitis media always complain of pain in the ear. It is most common infection of the ear necessitating medical therapy and main cause of pain in the ear for children younger than 5 years. Causes of acute otitis media. In children, acute otitis media occur when child's eustachian tube becomes swollen or blocked and traps fluid in the middle ear. Because there is communication between eustachian tube and middle ear for equilibrium of the pressure, but if it is blocked, then the fluid is trapped there and the trapped fluid can become infected. In young children, the eustachian tube is shorter and more horizontal than in older children and in adults. This makes more likely to be infected. Acute otitis media results from the infection by virus and bacteria, often as a complication of the common cold or allergy. The pathogens that causes acute otitis media are usually Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenza, and Moraxella catarrhalis, which later enter in the middle ear after eustachian tube dysfunction caused by the obstruction related to upper respiratory infections and inflammation of surrounding structures also. What are the clinical manifestations of acute otitis media? How you will identify that there are the chances of acute otitis media? So the symptoms of otitis media vary with the severity of the infection, and mainly it is acute ear ache. There is pain in the ear. The condition is usually unilateral in adults, means they complain only in one ear, but in the children it may be unilateral or sometimes bilateral also. The pain is relieved after spontaneous perforation of the tympanic membrane or tympanic incision because the pressure is built in the ear and this causes pain, and when there is perforation in the tympanic membrane or incision in the tympanic membrane, this pressure is relieved and the patient feels relieved or less pain. Other symptoms may include drainage from the ear, fever, and hearing loss. On otoscopic examination, with the help of otoscope, we check the ear. The external auditory canal appears normal, but the tympanic membrane is erythematous, means of red color and often bulging or protruding outside. There is no pain in the movement of auricle. If you move the auricle, there is no pain because the problem is in the middle ear. What diagnostic investigations are done for AOM? Number one, otoscopy. Otoscopy is done by the use of an instrument called otoscope to look into the ear, and especially in the ear canal. And we detect the redness, swelling, or sometimes blood or pus or fluid in the middle ear, or sometimes perforation of the eardrum or tympanic membrane. And then second is tympanometry. What is tympanometry? Tympanometry is the special instrument by which we can check the pressure in the middle ear. This is a very small instrument, and we can also check if the eardrum is ruptured. Treatment of AOM. Medical management of acute otitis media includes early and appropriate broad spectrum antibiotic therapy. And if drainage is there, then antibiotic otic preparation, means ear drops, are usually prescribed. And symptomatic treatment may also given, that includes antipyretics for fever and painkillers. Surgical treatment may also be needed for AOM, which includes incision in the tympanic membrane, and this is also known as myringotomy or tympanotomy. The tympanic membrane is numbed with the local anesthetic before the procedure. So local anesthesia is given. The procedure is painless and it takes approximately 15 minutes. And under microscopic guidance, the incision is made through tympanic membrane to relieve pressure and to drain the serous or purulent or pus or any fluid which is coming from the middle ear. The incision heals automatically within 24 to 72 hours, but may sometimes need antibiotic therapy to continue to prevent further infection. Now we come to chronic otitis media. So what is chronic otitis media? Chronic otitis media is inflammatory disorder of middle ear. It is defined as some long-term problem more than 6 weeks with middle ear, such as AOM that is not responding to medicines, or reoccurring AOM, or a perforation or hole in the eardrum that does not heal. What causes chronic otitis media? All the causes leading to acute otitis media may also lead to chronic otitis media if left untreated. It occurs when child's eustachian tube becomes swollen and blocked and traps some fluid in the middle ear, and this trapped fluid becomes infected. Chronic infections of middle ear damage the tympanic membrane, and sometimes it may destroy ossicles and may involve mastoid. What are clinical manifestations of chronic otitis media? The symptoms of chronic otitis media are minimal and normally there is no pain. And this is the main difference in acute and chronic otitis media. With varying degree of hearing loss, this is the main clinical manifestation, because hearing loss is there in the chronic otitis media, and persistent or intermittent foul smelling otorrhea. What is otorrhea? Otorrhea means discharge from the ear. Pain is usually not experienced except in the cases of complication. If complications are there in chronic otitis media, then pain may be there when there is associated mastoiditis or post-auricular area tenderness and maybe erytheromatous or idiomatous also. On otoscopic examination, we may find perforation in the tympanic membrane, and cholesteatoma can also be identified. This cholesteatoma is a white mass formed in the middle ear behind the tympanic membrane and coming through the external canal if perforation is there. Otherwise, bulging can also be seen. What are diagnostic investigations? Otoscopy. It is done by the use of an instrument called otoscope to look into the ear, and we can detect the presence of cholesteatoma or the perforation of eardrum. Then CT scan and MRI. To detect the level of damage in the middle ear and associated bones is assessed by CT scan and MRI. What is the treatment of COM? Medical management of chronic otitis media include careful suctioning of the ear under otoscopic guidance and installation of antibiotic drop or application of antibiotic powder, which is used for treatment of purulent discharge, and treatment is sometimes lengthy. Surgical management of COM includes tympanoplasty, means reconstruction of tympanic membrane, osculoplasty, means reconstruction of middle ear bones. It is middle ear, EAR, so please correct it. And mastoidectomy means removal of cholesteatoma by incision into the mastoid are used if the medical treatments are ineffective. Now we come to nursing management. Normally, in the both cases, AOM and COM, medical management is done on OPD basis, so no nursing management is needed. But if surgery is scheduled, then the client may be admitted in the hospital and nursing managements are needed. On admission in the ward, careful assessment is made, and based on the assessment, nursing care plan is prepared. Pre-operative care may include relieving of the anxiety by proper information about disease and treatment process. The patient is also encouraged to discuss any anxiety and concerns about the surgery, and informed consent is taken after proper information about the surgery. External auditory canal packing is used if a tympanoplasty was performed, so care should be provided to prevent injury or bleeding from the ear post-operatively. Measures are initiated to prevent infection in the operated ear. The external auditory canal wick or packing may be impregnated with antibiotic solutions before installation, so prepare dressing tray accordingly. Antibiotics and other medications are administered on time as prescribed. Reassure the patient as hearing in the operated ear may be reduced for several weeks because of edema, accumulation of blood and tissue fluid in the middle ear, or dressing or packing. Vertigo may occur after mastoid surgery if the semicircular canals and other areas of inner ear are traumatized. Safety measures such as assisted ambulation are implemented to prevent fall and injury, but we can assure that these are temporary. Post-operative discharge teaching includes information about the expected effects and potential side effects of the medication and how to take medication at home. Patients also need instruction about any activity restriction, possible complications such as infection, facial nerve weakness or taste disturbances, including the signs and symptoms which need to report immediately. Thank you students for watching this video. You can subscribe the channel for latest updates, or you can like Facebook page of My Student Support System for making your notes. You can visit blogger mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.